So this may surprise a few of you, but I'm not the biggest Apple fan in the world. I know, shocking. In my whole life I never purchased any Apple product, but I've never been more tempted to buy one like right now. Because then brand new MacBook Pros, for a YouTuber like me who has to edit a lot, this thing looks insane. And there's so many things to love about it. It has more performance, it has more connectivity, it has a better webcam that's now in a notch, and ooh, yeah. Apple just brought the notch, the signature look, or the curse, depending on how you look at it, of the iPhone to the MacBook Pro. And as you can imagine, the internet's been kind of livid. But is it going to be that big of a deal? Did Apple go too far by adding this notch in? Well, no, not really. Is it annoying? Totally. But the benefits definitely outweigh the drawbacks here. Firstly, one of the biggest benefits of course is the fact that the bezels are tiny now, giving you tons of free space on the screen, and of course seeing how it is, Apple's signature XDR Retina display, oh boy, is gonna look amazing. And the space the notch allows also allowed them to level up the camera. It is now a 1080p camera rather than a 720p of the previous model, and seeing how Zoom conferences are kind of the way of the future, it's definitely good to have such a high resolution camera on your laptop. But is it the perfect solution though? No, of course not. There's tons of laptops out there who manage without a notch, and it'll be way nicer looking without a notch. And I think Apple knows it, because in order for digitally release of the new MacBook Pro so far, they try to hide the notch as much as possible, like they're embarrassed of it themselves. Because Apple's a big company, they must be aware of the reputation that the notch has on the iPhones, right? Right? Regardless, at the same time, Apple has also done a lot to mitigate the damages done by the notch on the MacBook Pro. Firstly, the navigation bar at the top is now in line with the notch, so you won't be losing out too much space when you're just using your MacBook Pro normally. Now, of course, in full screen apps, it's gonna be a bit of a different deal, and that's something that most people have expressed concern about. And granted that some apps may have elements of its user interface collide with the notch, but hopefully in a few years time it won't be as big of an issue as updates released to address it. So full screen apps definitely won't be perfect at the start, but full screen media on the other hand should be a pretty straightforward experience. Because keep in mind that the media you'll be most likely consuming on your MacBook Pro is gonna be, just your normal 16:9 aspect ratio. But the MacBook Pro screen is closer to 16:10. So when you play back 16:9 media, you have two options. Either go proper full screen and have elements of the frame cut just so it fits into the 16:10 aspect ratio screen. Alternatively, if you want to keep everything on the screen, you can play in native 16:9, and then the notch won't even interfere because the whole screen won't be used. Plus you have the benefit of the notch being part of those nice cinematic bars at the top and bottom, which I know apparently some people like, but I never really understood. So do I fully support Apple here? No, totally. And again, it's all coming from someone who hasn't been the greatest supporter of Apple in the world. But I definitely don't think it's as big of an issue as the internet makes it out to be. Well, who would have thought the internet is freaking out over something that's not really an issue? And in other news, the sky continues to be blue. But let me know what you think of the notch and if it's a deal breaker for you. And also, hey, if you want to help support this channel, then make sure to subscribe, because according to YouTube, only around 3% of people who watch my videos are actually subscribed. Alternatively, if you're rich enough to buy Apple products, then you could also support my channel in another way, like for example supporting it on Patreon, because even $1 a month, just one single dollar a month, goes a long way in helping out this channel and allows me to make way better videos along with videos on way more interesting topics. I'd also like to thank my existing patrons, Gavin Burns, Ryan AKB, Meg Sumner, Shane Allcroft, and Lance B. Thank you guys so much, support truly goes a long way. And there's also going to be our Amazon associates links, plus then there's also our Discord server if you want to talk to me or about this MacBook Pro or pretty much anything else, plus and there's also our social media links as well. But anyway, that's it, so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, remember to subscribe, like whatever, and I'll see you all in whatever I make next. Goodbye everyone. Goodbye.